Mr. Mayor, will you describe for the jury what took place the night of August 23rd, 1978? I'm sure the jury is aware, Mr. Prosecutor. That was the night of the citywide blackout. And on that night, sir, was there not rampant lawlessness in our fair city's streets? There was, sir. Was there not riotous looting of both homes and businesses by otherwise respectable citizens of our community? There was, sir. And I ask you, Mr. Mayor, was there not an outbreak of other violent crimes, acts of savage, ferocious outrage? There were. Were there not, Mr. Mayor, 223 reported attacks on women that night? Yes. And did not your police department log in 27 reported homicides? They did. Not to mention the innumerable incidents of robbery, assault, kidnapping, possession of illegal firearms, as well as interminable lesser crimes? That's so. You would say, then, Mr. Mayor, that the pervading climate within our fair city that night was one of violent, irresponsible lawlessness? I would. And there was nothing your police department could do to control this blatant disregard for the law and the rights of our law-abiding citizens. I believed they handled the situation effectively, Mr. Prosecutor. Then you believe, Mr. Mayor, that your police firing upon and killing citizens for the most minor of crimes was justified? I do. Let me rephrase that, Mr. Mayor. Did you, on that night of August 23rd, 1978, give your police department orders to shoot offenders of the law on sight? I did not, sir. You deny ordering the blatant execution of innumerable citizens that night? I do. Then pray tell, Mr. Mayor, who gave our uniformed proponents of justice the authority to murder in the name of the law? I did, of course, Mr. Prosecutor. Not on the night in question, but 3 months earlier. And what, may we ask, Mr. Mayor, prompted you to make this bold and rather unorthodox decision? My decision was reached, sir, after months of study. What could you have studied that led to such drastic action, Mr. Mayor? The recent New York blackout and subsequent lawlessness in the streets of that once great city. I see. And you felt, then, that lawlessness could have been avoided if the police were allowed to take more, let us call them, dynamic forms of law enforcement? No. I felt such drastic steps would serve only as immediate curtailment of said lawlessness. It's your opinion that such outlawry cannot be avoided? That's untrue, sir. Such blatant disregard for sustained order will be avoided, now that we have demonstrated the harsh, non-negotiable penalties for disorder. You are of the opinion, then, Mr. Mayor, that other cities should follow your example of curbside executions for wrongdoers? It's time we stopped worrying over the rights of the lawless and started retaliating for their wrongs. What you're saying, then, Mr. Mayor, is that should there be another power failure in our community, you would follow your same course of action again? You are mistaken, Mr. Prosecutor. There was no power failure. What? What are you implying, Mr. Mayor? I'm saying, sir, that I ordered the power company to turn out the lights for a twofold purpose. Go on. First and obviously, it was necessary to demonstrate our willingness to take a hard-line stand in extreme cases. And secondly, Mr. Mayor? Secondly, also obviously, I simply felt it was time to separate the good guys from the bad guys and eliminate the undesirables from our society before they had the opportunity to breed more lawlessness. What I am saying, Mr. Prosecutor, is that I felt it was time that something was done about the deterioration of our society. I laid my career and my life on the line for what I believe is just. The way I see it, there are two possible courses of action here. One, the jury can find me guilty, and I'll pay with my life for mass murder. Or they can find me innocent, and mayors in every city around the world can follow where I have led. I willingly abide by the jury's decision, but I will stand by my actions until the end. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the only defense I can offer. What do you think, Spinetti? I think you pleaded a hell of a case, Mr. Prosecutor. The outcome will be just as you predicted. They'll be turning out the lights in a lot of cities tonight.